All right. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Jessica Worthington. I'm the director of the Office of Downtown Development, and this is Third Thursday. So with us on our team, we have Ellen Hill, our training and compliance coordinator, Elizabeth Elliott, our downtown historic preservation planner, and Tess Harper, who led the show for us last month. Our communications coordinator. Thank you, Tess, for holding down the fort. You were too cute when I went back and looked at the recording, and I saw that Tommy popped in too, which is just fun. We've got a small group today. I'm like, did we push this out to the network?
I did.
I was gonna say, I think we did.
I did.
But that's okay. It makes it more fun, a little intimate, and we can chitty chat and stuff like that. But thank y'all for being here. Happy September. And so for anybody who hasn't participated in this before, we do this once a month. We started this literally, I think at this point, 3 years ago during COVID. It was in September or October of 2020 as a way to engage and interact with each other. And we said we would keep doing it as long as people kept showing up and enjoying it. And we use it as an opportunity to crowdsource ideas, troubleshoot problems, talk about upcoming trainings, information that we want to share as an office, as well as just an opportunity to engage with each other and meet new folks. So is there anybody, I like to kind of give anybody new an opportunity to say hi if there's anybody new on the meeting that hasn't had the opportunity to introduce themselves before. All you have to do is either raise your physical hand or your fake hand, which can be found in the reaction section.
I see Sarah from Madison.
Hi, I'm Sarah Mabel. I'm the new Main Street manager in the city of Madison. So I'm excited to be on this call.
Welcome.
And Sarah, what did you do before coming to Madison?
I was the marketing specialist for our Convention and Visitors Bureau.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. Great. Well, thank you. We're glad to have you.
Thanks.
I always love when a marketing person shifts to downtown development. We need the creative energy.
Yep, absolutely. Always, it feels kind of like already like you're almost kind of in the world anyways. So just making the shift over. Anybody else? I'm looking to see if there's anybody. I don't see any. Lots of familiar folks, which is great.
I don't see anybody new.
Well, all right, so let's see what's going on. If you didn't get a chance to check it out, last week, was it last week? Holy cow, y'all. Last week, we did a webinar on annual assessments. And this is typically what we call our mid-year checkup, but this year we call pulling it all together just because of our new switch to 6 stuff. So we didn't actually teach about like the switch to 6. What we were doing is talking about the practicality of the annual assessment side and putting that document into action and how you're going to use it as part of your annual assessment. So if you didn't get a chance to check that out, it is up on our website right now. If you got a chance to check it out and you're like, I need to review it, it's there too. So anytime you need to refer back to it, it's there and ready for you. Again, you can share that with your board if you want. I always feel like it's a good way of incorporating the board into the bigger picture and helping them understand kind of like the process of what it takes to become accredited and all the things that are put on you as the manager that just happens behind the scene that we tend not to talk about or think about, but we have to do anyways, right? So it can be a lot. And Ellen has dropped that link for us into the chat. And if you, again, anybody new, Sarah, our YouTube channel is a great resource. We record all our Third Thursdays and other webinars, and we upload them there for later viewing. So you can check them out, learn, you know, and check out previous resources and stuff like that. So we really try and keep that up to date for, you know, anyone who needs to share and learn. And I will say too, with the new requirement that board members receive continual training, this is a great opportunity to provide them access to continue training as well. So whether they're going to a regional meetup that the Georgia Downtown Association is hosting, or whether they're popping on a third Thursday or watching it later, all that counts towards their training hours. So, and I will say before we move on to anything is, hold on, I see there's a question. Yes, so the webinar and the switch to 6, both those would count as trainings for board members and for you guys too, as well as staff. So absolutely. And so before I move on to anything else, was there any questions that anyone has about a couple different things? Annual assessments, the switch to 6, Dropbox, documentation you have to submit, expectations. Now is definitely the time. You know, we're here, the team's here, you know, we can break it down for you. There is no bad or wrong questions here.
Hey, Jess, how many hours of training do our board members have to have again?
Okay, so good question. Thank you. So if they're brand new, right? Like they just got appointed this year, if they are just part of the Main Street board, they need to have at least Main Street 101, right? Whether that was in person or online. If you have a Main Street DDA hybrid, you need to have Main Street 101 plus DDA 101, right? And then moving forward, board members will have to receive 2 hours of training credit each year. So, and I will say we leave that up to you to work with them on. So, you know, whether that's you guys doing something as part of a board meeting, whether that's you sharing with them webinars, whether that's them going to a conference or again, a regional meetup or something like that, we really leave it to you as a manager and staff to work with them on that. But that is a new kind of requirement pushed down from national. Thank you, Taylor, for asking that question. And I would say too, especially with schedules, and we know that, you know, most board members are full-time business owners or, you know, working with companies, you know, so that online components of being able to watch recorded webinars or participate live, you know, can really help them, you know, more easily meet those requirements and standards. Not everybody has the luxury of being able to travel and visit other places as much as we would like. But also too, if you're doing stuff, you know, like I was saying, if you're doing some kind of training component as part of your board meetings, that's fine as well. If you're going as a group and visiting another Main Street community, that can count as training. Yeah, Ginger, I see your hand. You're muted. Good morning.
Good morning. That's what I wanted to mention this morning. I talked to the board, my board, and we want to have a group trip and come visit one of these cities. And I wanted to ask you, which we're trying to grow and improve. And I wanted to ask which city you think would be best for us. So we're going to get a van and travel right after October and come visit one of the cities, and maybe one of the Main Street managers can give us a tour and more information on how they do things. And I wanted to ask you, what do you suggest?
Is there a particular area you're looking to learn more about or improve upon or grow in?
We want to improve on our business, just, you know, just growth period and how they do things. Like I told them about Macon, you know, I'm just so impressed with Macon, and it's only an hour away. But then they said, well, you know, find out if there's some other cities. You know, I just went to Canton. Canton's nice too as well, but I wanted to get your opinion. And I haven't been to a lot of the cities, so that's why I want your opinion.
Yeah.
Ginger, let's talk offline just so we can dig down a little bit more on the specifics
Okay.
about what you're looking for.
Okay.
And then we can kind of figure out kind of a list of communities to send you. Because yeah, Macon with business development and supporting new entrepreneurship is amazing. We have a lot of other cities that do similar things that are like more of a similar size to you, but that doesn't mean that like Macon's model can't translate. But I think like to dig down to what you're really looking for, that's where we can give you the best recommendations.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Elizabeth. Okay.
No problem. So make sure you email us and we'll reach out to you as well.
I will. Thank you.
No worries. And then one other thing I wanted to jump on with Jessica is because your board members are now you know, have this 2-hour component, we have a list of webinar ideas that we're always like kind of generating towards since we're leaning back into webinars a little bit. If you have any subjects, whether it's webinars or trainings, always that like you're noticing as a knowledge gap, that it's like, hey, since they have this component now, we would really appreciate like just a short snippet of training on X, Y, and Z. We send out the new manager or the manager survey at the end of the year every single year, and there's that training bit. And so that's a really great opportunity to like list things there, but don't wait if you have an idea and like, hey, we're facing really hard troubles right here with knowledge base with our board of directors with this thing. Please send it to us so we can kind of add that to the list, and we know that that's something we need to kind of look into in the future of offering something.
Mm-hmm. And I think Shelly asked a really good question from Kara. She was like, how many credits do these kind of city visits count for? And so what I would say, Shelly, when I was like, if I was planning it, and let's say, I'm just like going to throw out stuff. So like, let's say you go from Cairo to Valdosta, you're going to do just a little quick visit, right? So I would, for the total time, like how many credits does it count for? I would include your travel time, right, to get there, as well as however many hours you were there with the community. So that entire experience, again, including that travel, lunch, you know, whatever, can be counted towards your total hours. Yeah. Because again, when you're in the car, you're talking, you're networking, you know, that I would say, you know, like even when we're state employees and we're traveling, that counts as like hours that we're working and stuff like that. So I want to kind of show the same respect to y'all and count that time as well towards it. So you can really, you know, depending on how far or how close you are, you know, those hours can really add up.
And for a time like in the community, it's really hard to do a good community visit in less than 2 hours in our experience. And so I would say factor in like, that's kind of like the minimum I would say. So if you are planning a board retreat or a board visit, factor in the travel time plus at least 2 hours in that community with the, you know, one-to-one face with the manager, with leadership from the city. But that's kind of the sweet spot is 2 hours, get in, get out. But if you try to do it in less, I feel like y'all are doing yourselves a disservice for like the effort to get to that community. So I would say that's like a good parameter is at least 2 hours. More is great, but I would say that's the minimum of in the community to get like the worth out of the visit.
Yeah. And there's just something to be said for being able to go and see something else in person and be inspired and, you know, have somebody else talk to your group and, you know, that sort of thing. Tanya, why don't you share with us?
I used my fake hand.
I love it. I love it.
So I have had another community reach out to me about.
Oh, for some reason you muted yourself.
Okay, I don't know. Anyway, I've had another community reach out to me about bringing their board here. What about that? I mean, does that, of course, that would count for their board, but what about if it counted for time for us?
So if another community brings their board to your town, could it also count for your board as well? I don't see why not. I mean, if they're participating, if they're participating in the tour and interacting with them and part of that experience, I feel like that's learning from both sides, So I just feel like as long as you're intentional with that networking, and connecting them and having those conversations, if they're coming, y'all are going to lunch together, stuff like that. Yeah, I can see that for both sides. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Mhm. Yep. And I will say too, we just were working with a community this week, and they had a board member who had been through another state and driven through another community and really had gotten to see something, and we're like, oh my gosh, we really would just love to connect with this community and learn more about that. And we looked it up, found out that they were a Main Street community in another state, reached out to that state coordinator and set up a Zoom session with that manager from the community in another state, and did that this week and help facilitate that with them. And it was awesome. I mean, to be able to, again, to learn from somebody else and stuff like that. So if you have, again, any particular topics or areas, that's why Liz was saying we really try and like customize it depending on like what your specific need is, because everybody needs like general help, but I would say most people have like one or two areas they're really looking to, like, if we could just do this, so we want to make sure we're connecting you with the right folks. But again, those are training opportunities as well. So, again, sometimes it's not always easy to get everybody to go somewhere else, but that doesn't mean we can't bring somebody to you. So yeah, I would say there's lots of opportunities out there. Just make sure you're connecting with us and we can, help kind of creative brainstorm together. Mhm.
Can I say something?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm looking on the screen and I'm recognizing faces now. In the beginning, I didn't know anyone. And it's been a little over a year now for me. And I'm recognizing faces because I'm seeing them all the time, especially from our meeting in Canton. And I'm seeing Shelly, I'm seeing Taylor, and I'm seeing Daniel and I'm just Bethany. We had so much fun. I'm looking at names right now, and it's just so nice to recognize people now, and it makes me feel like I'm just on top of my game. I had so much fun in Canton. It was really nice. Really nice.
Oh,
Jessica Branch. Jessie Branch. I sat next to her at one of our classes. So it was nice. And I just appreciate you all. I really do.
Oh, awesome. Love that. Love that. And if anybody hasn't heard, next year the conference is going to be in Thomasville. So we're heading back down south. Super exciting to be in Thomasville. So I know that'll be great. I don't have the dates off the top of my head, but it'll be in August again. And yeah, I'm excited about Thomasville hosting us. Absolutely. All right. Any other questions about assessments, Dropbox, training, paperwork?
Okay.
All right. Did you know when you ask questions, you're supposed to wait at least 7 seconds to make sure that anybody has time to ask them? It always feels like such a long pause. All right. So we've got that. I'm looking at my notes of things we need to do today. One of the things we kind of wanted to ask and share, and Tess reminded me this because we're like, it's middle of September. It feels like it's already October, which feels like it's Halloween already, which feels like the year's, which is Christmas and the year is over. So Happy New Year, guys. But we wanted to, we don't focus a lot on events. We are very economic development focused as a state. I would say we try not to spend too much time talking about being party planners and stuff like that. But I think, today's going to be kind of one of those like rare exceptions where we would love to hear, like, as we're going into event season, what you've got going on. If you've got something unique, I mean, I feel like we're again 3 years plus since, COVID, we're all starting to get back out there, but things are kind of ramping up a little bit. So I feel like we're in this new blended environment moving forward. It's like we can't 100% do things the way we used to, but we're trying to still bring the community together. And it's just like this really kind of like uncharted territory, but new approach. And I would just love to hear what you guys have going on this fall. If you've got anything going on for Small Business Saturday coming up in November, if you're starting to think about that, I'd love to hear from y'all.
I do have something.
Yes.
I've been here over a little over a year now, and I've got to work on volunteers. That's my thing. I've got to work on, because we have a few small events coming up before my Tinsel Trail. But last year during the Tinsel Trail, it was a lot of work. And the people that I asked to come help volunteer, they didn't show. So, I had 3 people plus me. Then I had Public Works come and help me. But I need to work on my volunteers this year. I need to get some people that will show up. Any suggestions?
Danielle, are you wanting to weigh in on this topic or a different one? This one?
A different one.
Okay, all right. I'll circle back to you in a minute.
Yeah, I need volunteers to really, I got to figure out a way to get people involved, to want to come out and help with the trees. We had 26 trees last year I had to put up, and it was a lot of work. And I had only 2 people helping me. And it took me the whole day out there to put up Christmas trees and make sure they don't blow down. We had to install.
When you call for volunteers, are you like, this is your time slot, this is your specific task, like you're very specific on what you're telling them?
Yes.
Okay.
But they don't, what too, I found that the problem is too, school's out, and people on vacation and they leave town. So that's a problem I'm having when during the holiday season, kids are out of school. So we have Woodward Academy. So I thought, okay, get the kids out, but they're on vacation. And then the family's on vacation. So I'm having that problem. So I got to figure something out. So if anyone comes up with an idea, please, give me an email or a call.
So our trees, we have a Christmas tree lane, our Christmas tree lighting, and we have businesses do the trees. We ask them if they want to participate, and then we make it a contest because people love a contest.
Okay.
And it can just be something like it's super simple. Like you get a little trophy that says you won the Christmas tree contest, and people will totally do that for you. And then you don't have to worry about it at all. You just say, here's your Christmas tree, pick it up at this time, decorate it how you want to decorate it. It's a People's Choice Award. And that's how we do our Christmas trees for Christmas Tree Lane for the tree lighting. Because it is a lot. There's no way I could decorate all those Christmas trees.
Yeah, well, see, we had 26 Christmas trees. I order them. The guy comes out, he drops them off. We install them, put them up, because they said that the year before that, the wind knocked a lot of them down. So we do extra installing, like 3 different separate parts of putting trees in. Then the people, I sent an email out telling everyone, your tree is here. We put the stakes in for whoever purchased a tree, and then they come out and decorate their tree. And then they have to take the decorations down at the end of the contest. And we do have a contest, and there's one person that wins, but the problem is getting volunteers to come out and help me install the trees.
Yeah,
I need some type of incentive.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think both Shay and Jessica in the chat made some good notes. Shay from Douglasville said, get a short list of your most engaged commenters on your social posts and reach out to them directly and ask for their support or if they could help as a volunteer, because I think that's a great idea. And then Jessica said, their local Rotary Club has helped in the past. So working with a specific civic organization to say, hey, we're doing this, we need volunteers, and can you commit this kind of stuff? I think that's great. Bethany said, Beta Club kids always need community hours. Even something like, if you got high schoolers, the baseball team or the football team, or, the kind of groups where you've got the athletes and stuff like that, where they can move stuff around pretty easily, that sort of thing, they can be a really great resource. And you're more likely, if you're working with a coach or something like that, they're gonna show up, they're gonna do what they, have committed to doing, not gonna be no shows. Kelly, did you want to comment on this topic?
Yeah, because Ginger, you're not that far from us. Are you talking about live trees? So
Yes.
you're trying. Okay, we got our tree last year. Of course, we only got one, but we got it from Trees for Tuition. And there are these real young college guys, and they take part of their tree profits, and fund somebody to go to college or give them some grant or something like that. But they put ours up for us. So I bet if you called them up and told them you wanted 26 trees, they might do that. I'm just
Okay. But they supplied the trees for you?
We traded, actually. They gave us a tree. We traded. They set up at our Halloween festival last year. And so we're like, all right, instead of a booth fee, why don't you bring us a tree? So that's kind of what we did.
Okay. Well, I'm working with the farm. This is a guy that I'm working with, and he supplied, and everyone loved the trees. The trees were good trees. So I'm working with him again, and we're trying to get more than 26 this year. They're trying to double our inventory on trees. So I know I'm going to need some volunteers. So
Lucretia said, but we got more comments in the chat. So Elena said, if you can provide t-shirts, foods, incentives, the people will come. They also give some money incentive to missions, youth groups, clubs, that will come and participate as a team. And they love seeing all the volunteers, and she loves seeing all the volunteers in Canton with t-shirts. I agree. And then Lucretia from Albany said, fire department is a great volunteer source. I was thinking the same thing as like public works, donate the trees to needy families or those who don't have a tree at the end of the event, becomes a great Christmas gift for the children. All great ideas. I would say, too, trying to see maybe not every, all of it has to, support come from the city, but some city support, I think, is becomes a critical component as well.
Yeah. Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate all the advice.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Shelley, did you want to add something on the volunteer section?
I was just going to say that our Board of Education, so our superintendent, they're actually doing like all the athletes in the high school, they're doing a competition for volunteer hours. And so that's how I'm getting a lot of my volunteers. And I've gone to them about other events too, to see if we can get more students. But you could also possibly talk to, do you have any colleges near you, Ginger?
Well, no, not close to me, but I have this academy, Woodward Academy. So I'll try them again. They have a team, but it was so hard because, like I said, a lot of folks were on vacation during Thanksgiving. Because we set up the trees around right before Thanksgiving, we set the trees up. And so that's when people are on vacation. So I'll have to talk, like what Jessica said, maybe get a coach involved. And that way, that will be my go-to person to make sure something gets done. But you guys have given me some great ideas. Thank you.
Kelly, did you have one more thing on this topic or a different topic?
Me?
Yes.
I didn't put my hand down. Is that what happened?
Oh, I can lower it for you. And Elizabeth.
I could talk about our Halloween festival coming up.
Well, I want to let Danielle, if we're ready to move on, I want to let Danielle talk because I told her I'd come back to her. But Elizabeth, did you want to hit on this one more time? Okay.
Two good, like Kendrick and Greensboro, she literally has like a relationship with this teacher, and so their biggest festival each year, that teacher consistently every year promises her class to help as like the volunteer force for that festival. So even just like, a coach, another teacher that's involved in a club specifically, and then every year that kind of just becomes, as your workforce, like just developing that relationship with a specific teacher. And then where is she? Tanya in Vidalia. She does the Sweeten Your Ride event. And so she partnered with a local group as well. And the students kind of are her workforce. And they actually get scholarship money from it and develop like skills and stuff like that. So she could be a great resource to reach out to, just like how to engage and kind of start that conversation and get somebody involved. But I know a lot of y'all do that, but those are just two examples that kind of popped into my head right at the beginning.
Thank you. Taylor, different topic or same topic? Same topic?
Different.
Oh, different. Gotcha. All right. All right. Danielle, tagging you in. You've been very patient.
So something that we do our Sportsman's Festival every year, and we are doing our 30th year. But with the Placer AI data and stuff like that, with our partnership with the Georgia EMC, we have put that information on our page, like where you go and register for the event. And even some of the numbers shocked Jeffrey and I. We were like, whoa, we didn't think as many were coming. And that's just cell phone data. And so we shared this with our board in our meeting on Tuesday, and they were like, oh. And just having that information there has even helped us with vendors and other people that are like, well, but you do it every year, and is it really that big? But our numbers from 2021 to 2022 doubled, just in cell phone, data usage that came to our town. And so we're just using that to our advantage this year, to just getting that data. And we've looked at some of our other events that we've done and have been increasing that data also on our website so that people can see. Because some of our communities like, well, why do you keep doing these over and over? And now we have the proof, because look, people are actually coming to these events, and this is how it's helping our community.
That's awesome. That's great. Especially when you're trying to convince businesses that aren't staying open or aren't participating to be able to go back and say, hey, look how many people we had. This is where they were. This is how long they were here. That data can be really helpful in making that argument.
Yep.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing. Taylor, what's going on?
Good morning. It is busy per usual. Okay, so food truck court, that's up and going. We started that on August 31st. So I think we've got 6 spaces. So we've got 4 registered food trucks every single Thursday, Friday, and Saturday this week. Right now it's only open Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, but the goal is to open it up 7 days a week going into 2024. So we're working out all the kinks, trying to make sure we've got all the proper certifications, documentation, cross the T's, dot the I's, but the community's really enjoying that, really loving that, just having access to some new food variety in Thomaston, and word started to get out. We've started to get some food trucks from Noonan and from McDonough and from Fayetteville. So that's going really, really well. October 20th, we have our first potentially annual, name could change, but Mule Days Festival. So at one time, Thomaston was the second largest mule exporter in the country behind St. Louis. So a majority of downtown Thomaston was filled with mule stables and blacksmiths. And it was just a major economic driver for this community. So had a group of ladies that are in the process of opening a new Western store in downtown approach us with the idea of doing a Mule Days Festival. So we're having the Miss Mule Days pageants the weekend before. And then it's our fall festival, just rebranded as Mule Days, but it'll be downtown on a Friday night, live music, food trucks, vendors. We do hay bale painting. So we partner with the school system and one of our local farms to get hay bales. We had like 10 last year, but I think we're doing 15 this year. And the school kids will sponsor a hay bale. So it's 2 per school. And they come out and they paint the hay bales, and then they're set up inside of our kids zone area. We have local businesses and nonprofits and civic groups and churches that provide free kids zone activities during the festival. So that's coming quickly. And then planning for Christmas already, which is hard to believe that we're already talking about Christmas. But we have our second annual Christmas Lane Market. So if you've ever been to Thomaston, Christmas Lane is kind of a thing. It's been around since 1954. It's one street in Thomaston where it's all hand cut and hand painted Christmas decorations. So it's adjacent to our big park in town called Greatest Generation Park. So last year we added a market, the Christmas Lane Market, to the opening night of Christmas Lane, and we had 8,000 attendees. It was insane, 80 plus vendors. So planning for that, we got a Christmas parade a couple weeks after that. So it is full steam ahead in Thomaston and busy.
Woohoo, love it. Rocking and rolling. Thank you for sharing. Bethany, what you got going on? See you muted. Yep.
Got it. Okay. First of all, Taylor, you cannot have a first annual anything. Okay. This is my biggest pet peeve in the entire world. Also, besides people who tuck inside a bathroom stall at a football game. But listen, it is an inaugural event. Okay. You can't have a first annual anything because you don't know if you're going to have it again. You can
Preach it, girl. Preach it. I can't stand it either. That's my biggest pet peeve.
Nonetheless. All right. Second thing about my t-shirt. It says be Blackshear, be kind. I completely stole it from Belinda because she had one on. And I was like, I'm totally ripping off and designing this. And she was like, it's a Chick-fil-A t-shirt. So nonetheless, her t-shirt was red and white and it said Chick-fil-A on the back. Didn't know that. Don't turn me into copyright. Anyway.
I love it.
But so you guys know that in February, we do a big charcuterie board competition. We call it Battle of the Boards. Yes. So in a couple of weeks, we are going to have a Battle of the Boards 2.0, but it's cornhole. So we're having a cornhole tournament. So we've got Battle of the Boards and Battle of the Boards 2.0 coming.
Oh, I love that.
So like the firefighters and everybody, apparently there's a lot of stuff that goes on to this. I have no idea. We're just flying by the seat of our pants. But we'll do food trucks and music and stuff like that. So, and then downtown trick-or-treating is always a huge deal. Costume contest. I'm doing my veterans banners once again this year we're going to do something else next year. But I have right now about 175 veterans banners that have to go up all over town. And then we're going to do a Veterans Day breakfast. Veterans Day is on a Saturday this year, and it's also the Georgia Ole Miss game. And so we're going to do a breakfast on Friday morning. Because everybody will go out of town from here. So, but then in Christmas and we had a lot of local people kind of pass away within the last year. And so our Christmas parade theme is called Angels Among Us. And and also, if you go on my Instagram, my daughter Ryan designed all of our PR for it. Thank you very much. Anyway, but that's what we got going on.
That's awesome. I love the Battle of the Boards 2.0. I mean, that's just too cute. Awesome. Thank you for sharing. Elizabeth.
Angel can go next because I am going to toss it to two different people to speak on something. So Angel, you go first.
Okay, so we are having our first autumn artisan market this Saturday to kind of kick off autumn, the new season. So we'll have over 20 vendors in our Ritz Amphitheater just showcasing like autumnal seasonal goods. We'll have a vendor, she's bringing in like these pallets of pumpkins that'll be available for purchase for everyone looking to decorate for the holidays. We'll also have food trucks. We'll have some live entertainment on our amphitheater stage. Yeah, we're really excited. We've gotten great response on social media when we've been advertising this. So many people tagging their friends like, can't wait for this. We usually focus heavily on our Christmas in Thomasville event series. So introducing something fun for the interim is going to be really exciting. We're also going to have in October, last year we did we introduced like movie night at the Ritz Amphitheater. So this year we added a couple more times. And so in October, we're going to have kind of like a Halloween theme. So it'll be a fall family movie night. So we'll have vendors there, food vendors, and then we're going to show Casper the Friendly Ghost. And we'll also have kids activities prior. So there'll be like a little petting zoo and other fun kids activities as well.
Oh, too cute. Love it. Elizabeth, are we going to you or we're going to Shelley? Okay. All right.
Awesome. Hi, everybody. We have a lot of events coming up, and we just had an amazing event last weekend, our Hispanic Heritage Experience. Amazing. We had over like 2,000 people in downtown Cairo. It was amazing and beautiful. And I worked with a local nonprofit to put this on, and she worked so hard. And as the parade was going by and we were seeing all these amazing floats and these amazing people, just like tears started like rolling down her face. And I was like, oh my gosh. And it was like the most beautiful moment. And it was wonderful for our community. So I'm really excited about, helping her plan that for next year and working even more with that and just making it even bigger, because this was the second time that has happened. We have we have 2 more downtown concerts that are going to be with nonprofits as well. We have Turner's Tribe coming up next month, and that's to benefit Phelan-McDermott syndrome. And so a local family, they put that on and we work with them for that. And then we have our Vet Fest in November. And so that's going to be on that Saturday. Boo on Broad, we're working with the library with that. And I'm really excited. One of my biggest things, because I am just one person, has been partnering with the community, and that has been really wonderful. The community's been really great about that. And so we're doing a Wonderland theme for that. That was the library's idea. And they're just, we're literally going to like make the whole downtown like Wonderland. We're doing like a map of Wonderland. We're doing like the Red Queen's Court around the courthouse. We're going to do like the Mad Hatter's Tea Party at the library. And just like we'll have people walking around in card outfits and huge flower outfits. So we're working with the high school for that. So the drama club. So that's going to be really cool. And then our mistletoe market, that's going to be amazing. We're extending that to 2 whole blocks this year. We're going to have this amazing little kiddie train that we're kind of like going to be sending the kids on. And it'll start at we have a mural of a, like right next to our museum, and it's right by the train track. So, and it's literally a train mural. So it'll start there and then it'll go around the block, and they'll be able to see the new mural that is about to be painted, that will be done in November. So I'm excited about all of these new improvements. So lots of stuff, but we're excited. We're all excited. So yeah,
I love it. Yeah. And I want to echo what Angel said from Thomas, that love the partnerships with nonprofits. I think kind of circling back to what Ginger was saying, earlier about volunteers and stuff like that, it's hard to build a volunteer base, but, those relationships and building those relationships really, kind of can make or break you sometimes. And, finding, and it's also, you got to find the right partnership, right? So it's finding the right group, the right partnership, connecting with the right person. But once you do, it can really pay out in dividends. So don't give up hope. It's, it just takes time.
My turn.
Yes, your turn.
So piggybacking on just what Jessica said there, we actually were talking to one community earlier this week, and they were saying that, we were talking about, the annual assessment, and he was like, well, to be honest, like promotions, it's like we don't really do a lot of our own events anymore because people see the value in them, and they'd asked us if they could take them and run them instead of us. And he's like, is that okay? And it's like, that's the goal, honestly. If you can, create events that are valuable and other people want to take ownership of it so you can use your time in other areas, not to say never doing an event ever again, but that's like wonderful. So building those partnerships, and then maybe eventually they take over some things, and then you can populate, your calendar with other things or more time working on other economic development projects. So that's wonderful. So partnerships. You know me, I harp on relationships. One thing I also wanted to mention is Taylor in Thomaston. He has been wonderful about not only just like having an event for an event's sake, but leveraging events as recruitment tools for possible businesses and growing businesses into the space of downtown. So he proactively goes around and, talks to the vendors that he has at different markets, and he can speak. I'm lawyers. I'm talking as he's gone right now, so I would have tossed it to him. But he, like a vendor, it's like, hey, you seem to be doing really well. Next time, do you want 2 booths? And they're like, I guess so, sure. And then they're cleaning up. He's like, well, you're doing this great. So how about a storefront? And so, like, having this capillary action of not just being like, oh, we're having vendors, that's great, but really looking at the vendors strategically of like, could any of these possibly populate some of the buildings downtown? So events can be very multifaceted. Just it's not just bringing the community together, yes, but also can be recruitment tools. And then the other person I'm going to throw it to speak a little bit about another avenue is, we know it's hard for events to make money, but there are some people that are doing it really, really well. And so Kelly kind of started, Kelly in Little 5 Points, I'm going to throw you under the bus here for a second. She started to mention something about their Halloween event, but it is an extremely successful fundraising event. And so I just wanted to throw it to her and see, like, if she could speak to a little bit of how, like, they monetize it and how it has become that successful monetary to help support their program. And then also opening up the floor if anybody has, we've heard from Alicia and Perry before about their wine night, but anybody else that has like a really good true fundraising event where it's not just fundraising to have the cost of the event, but how do they monetize that to help support their program in addition externally from that event? So with that, that's the question on the table, but Kelly's going to kick us off.
Hey, we had the Little 5 Points Halloween Festival and Parade, October 21st and 22nd. It's, how do we monetize it? This year, you shouldn't have put me on here because this year we usually do all the fundraising ourselves. This year we hired some people to do it for us. So we'll let you know how that goes. We have 4.5 weeks left. But so far we have like just some of the things we're doing. We have a local artist that's doing a 3D haunted house. And so we're not actually charging to go in the haunted house, but we're asking for donations. He's also designing a 3D shirt for us, and we've ordered these special 3D glasses. We're also doing a sticker hunt where last couple of years, we've had a monster hunt where we've had these artists dressed like monsters and with their art, and we let them set up in bin and we put them all through the neighborhood so that it spreads out people through the neighborhood. Because we have a lot of complaints. Oh, they don't come down here on our end, and they don't come across the street, and they don't whatever. So anyway, so this year we're just changing it up a little bit because we don't want to do the same thing. But we're creating these reusable sticker books. So they have to go around to all the stores and get a sticker and put them in their book. So we'll let you know how that goes too, because that's like a new thing. We also have we're having skateboarders out there. We got a big skate ramp, and they have a big skate fest coming up a week later. I'm trying to think of what else we do to make money. It's mainly with shirts and vendors. We have over 100 vendors this year. And it's really more artists. We only do people that make their own stuff, pretty much. And I guess, and we have other events coming up too, but we have the Parade of the Dead, which is November 1st, which Chantel does that, who does the Beltline Lantern Parades. And we have First Voices Festival coming up in November, which is our indigenous, Native American kind of thing that we're doing. Oh, and we're partnering with Soccer in the Streets. We have a big giant field that nobody knows is there, kind of behind a lot of our businesses, like 7 stages over in there. And we're partnering with Soccer in the Streets. They're doing a benefit where they dress up in Halloween costumes, I guess the management, and they do a soccer game. So anyway, so yeah, we got a lot going on.
Thank you very much.
I have a question. Kelly, are you part of that light up on the Beltline, that parade? Are you part of that?
No,
Okay.
I wish I was. But Chantel is, and that's who does we kind of keep that Parade of the Dead thing kind of quiet because we're also burned out from Halloween. And Chantel actually, her lantern parades have gotten so crazy and crowded that she kind of wants it to kind of just be us. But y'all can come. but anyway, that's why you don't hear about it though, because it's we don't want it. You know, like Halloween gets so big. We had over 55,000 people there last year.
I see a baby.
So we don't.
Sorry, you've been upstaged by a baby.
Sorry, Kelly.
Oh, I thought y'all were doing that to me.
Oh,
Her first Thursday.
oh. So for anybody new, this is, I was gonna say, this is Abigail, our Noonan Main Street manager, and Jesse works with her. They're the dynamic duo in Noonan, and that's baby Blair. Oh, love it, love it.
Member of the Main Street family.
Yeah. Already voluntold and putting them to work, I can see.
Yeah,
of course.
And Elena, I saw that you had a guest with you in Statesboro.
Go ahead, girl. Hi, I'm Fernanda. I'm the downtown director over in Pembroke, about 30 minutes down the road from Statesboro.
Awesome. Thanks.
Welcome.
Yeah,
We're
glad
really
to have
excited
you.
about her. We're mentee mentors, and we've already made a visit, and they've got a lot of exciting things going on in Pembroke, and we're just excited to be a partner with it. She's great, and she'll do a great job.
Oh, well, we're glad to have you. Guys, I always feel like you always have like company in Statesboro. You're always hosting somebody and doing something. I love it. Love it.
Yeah, we've had an exciting fall. We're kind of like everybody else. We're event heavy, and we've got a couple of construction projects going on, but we just got through with our big taste of downtown, and that's where we pair up restaurants and businesses. It's really strategic in that we try to drive people into our businesses. So it was really successful. We're still trying to get over it. We got event hangover. So but we're gearing up for the next one, and we got a couple of construction projects, and our city just did a streetscape. So we're pretty excited about where the direction we're heading. So
awesome.
Good stuff.
Thank you for sharing. Lucretia, what's going on in Albany?
First of all, good morning, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I've been on my cell phone. For some reason, Zoom thought I needed an update, and I just was able to log on. I just want to share, of course, we have a few promotional projects. Of course, October is a busy month. We've got Paint the Town Pink, which is a pretty important project for me, but it's also a great community project. ASU, our university here, is a really economic development engine for us. But I'm also excited to share, we were working on a project before COVID, which was a hotel development for us. And it kind of stalled after COVID. The developer, of course, experienced some illnesses and a lot of things happened. But this week during our commission meeting, we announced a $46 million project coming to downtown Albany. It will create 200 jobs in construction for the next 2 to 3 years. And it's going to also have a substantial long-term job creation of 65 jobs. The project started out as a hotel development that spurred over to 3 additional buildings that will be developed. The developers were here, saw what they liked, and looked at other opportunities. We just approved our master plan October of last year. So we're checking off things in the master plan that were identified. So that project hopefully will be approved and voted on at our commission meeting on Tuesday. That we are very excited about what it'll mean for our downtown.
That's incredible. Feels so good when you're able to check something off that that big goal list, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
That's incredible, Lucretia. Thank you for sharing. Keep us posted as like it moves forward.
I will.
All right, it's 10:57. How about one more awesome something, whether it's personal, professional, someone please take us home. One last thing we want to share.
Hi, I have something, but it's not, I mean, it's sharing, but it's sketchy.
Okay.
Now we have to know.
I know, it's like, give us all the tea.
Well, I consider it sketchy because it's not my own, but I promised I would pass this on. So everybody knows that Stockbridge has done the Small Business Blitz, and we've got this really awesome downloadable app, and we've gotten a lot of buzz about it. Some of our Georgia cities have also requested to work with our web designer. So the web designer was really excited about that and asked if we could pass on to you guys that they are anxious to work with all of Georgia Main Street to do something similar to what Stockbridge is doing. And I can't make their pricing for them, but I told them that Main Streets don't have gigantic budgets and that it would be nice if they could make sure it's affordable. So they said, you know, just whoever gets in touch with them, they'd be willing to try to work with them. And, you know, I will add, they do more than just the mobile app. Like we encourage them to create the mobile app for us, but they do web design for other municipalities. They've done other things for like Lawrenceville that's similar to what we have on our phones. And the good thing is this thing can be used all year long, not just during the small business Saturday season. So I just wanted to put that out there. If you guys are interested in working with IT Simple, they are interested in working with you all. So please give them a call if you've got an idea like this that you're interested in creating for your community. And don't forget, you kind of get your money's worth, because once the holiday season is over, you can use it for any other thing that you want where you're trying to drive businesses, customers to your businesses. All right.
Yeah, if you share with us, Lisa, their contact information, anybody who's interested, we'll make sure to connect them.
Okay, I'm gonna try to pull that up real quick before we sign out, okay?
Awesome.
Oh, yes, Emily, I think you should announce it.
Hey, sorry. This is my board chair, Trish. We're working on a project for next week. So that's what we're here. We're kind of trying to multitask, but I'm really excited to say that Macon is one of 8 semi-finalists for the Great American Main Street Award. So, so the official announcement will be start happening next week, but you know, don't share with other people outside the state of Georgia.
Yes. Yeah, I was gonna say everybody's on an information embargo, so you are in the know. But we're so excited. We still have a little ways to go to find out if we're gonna make the final cut, but this is such a huge accomplishment, and we're so excited for you guys. Yeah, this is definitely the best note we could end on. Absolutely.
The double great thing is because the conference is so close next year, it's in Birmingham, in case you haven't caught that memo. Fingers crossed, if there's an exciting announcement, like hopefully we're going to have a really great Georgia contingent to be able to cheer one of our own on and celebrate with them if what we all hope happens. And so mark your calendars for Birmingham. We put the dates in there earlier. So let's support our own and let's try to make a great showing and also a great learning experience in Birmingham. So yay, congratulations.
Yay. The deadline for proposals for Main Street America to October 6th. Y'all might have said that earlier.
No, I didn't see that. Thank you for letting us know.
Yes. So I know we're submitting several proposals here in Macon, but Georgia has so much to share. I think it'd be great if we could have a lot of representation at the conference from across the state, because all of y'all are doing amazing things that could make really incredible conference proposals. So You also, it's also
Absolutely.
only $100 if your
That's
session.
what I was gonna say. Yep. I was like, if your session gets picked, it's yeah, you get a special speakers rate for $100. You can go to the conference, which is, hey, to teach one session and only have to pay $100. I mean, that is absolutely worth it right there. So.
And also elected officials have a special rate where it's also, I believe, $100 or not much north of that. And so, number one, if you have a rule like I had when I was in Washington that you're not allowed to travel out of state without council approval, and you feel like you might need help advocating to be able to, please let us know. We'll please help speak to your leadership that like why this is such a great opportunity, and just start kind of planning for it, and encourage your board, leadership, everybody to attend. It's not just for us. Everybody gets something out of it. So spread the word.
All right. So we have gone over time, so we'll let people hop off if you need to. But Valinda, I see you've had your hand patiently raised. So
Oh, all I wanted to say was it's countdown time. I leave for the beach tomorrow for 9 days. I'll have a drink for every one of you. Just so you know.
Well, I think you probably earned it after the amazing conference that you hosted in Canton for all of us. So
all I did, I've got bushwhacker on the mind. That's all I know. I just drink after drink after drink. I'm ready. So yeah.
Absolutely. Lucretia?
Has anyone heard when we can start ordering the Small Business Saturday marketing kits?
Mm-mm.
Nope.
I haven't.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
Let's see. We haven't seen any official communication come through, so
I've
I
been
would
trying
just
to keep an eye on it, but I think last year it was like the beginning of October when we were able to get it.
Yeah, they've been doing it later and later, especially since the pandemic. They just really went much later at that point. So we're looking for it also.
Yeah. But when we hear something, or if y'all hear something before we do, let us know. We'll push it out to everybody. All right. Well, thank you guys. Feel free to sign off, but the team will stick around for a few minutes in case you have something you want to ask us offline or one-on-one. Otherwise, we'll see you next month. Happy fall, y'all.